Hello everyone, it's Jen from Old Tinkerer Studio. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to animate with a lattice in Blender 2.83. So let's get on with the tutorial. A lattice, sometimes called a deformation cage, is used to deform an object. It can be used to deform a model to add interest to the model, and it can be used for animation. For this tutorial, we will be learning how to animate a mesh with a lattice. In order to animate with a lattice in Blender, you will need to have the Animation Anim All add-on activated under your preferences. Let's delete the cube and add a monkey called Suzanne. Add a subdivision surface modifier with a render and viewport of 2. Then apply the modifier. Right-click on Suzanne to open up the Object Context menu and choose Shade Smooth. Now add a lattice and scale it to surround Suzanne. Under the Object Data Properties, we can subdivide the lattice itself. This is called resolution. U is the x-axis, and I'm using 5 cuts. V is the y-axis, and I'll be using 5 cuts. W is the z-axis, and I'll be using 7 cuts. We will need to add a lattice modifier if we want to actually deform Suzanne. In Object Mode, select Suzanne and add a lattice modifier. For the object, we choose Lattice. If we now select the lattice and tab into Edit Mode, we can use the lattice to deform the Suzanne object. If we look under the Object Data Properties, we notice that we have various interpolations. B-spline is the default, which is a smooth type of interpolation. However, if we scale an object using B-spline, the object will eventually start to fall outside the lattice. If we use linear, the object stays within the lattice, which is what we want. And the same goes for the cardinal and the catmull interpolations. This is just something to keep in mind when you're using the lattice. For this tutorial, I'll be using the linear interpolation. Now make sure that you can see the timeline. Open up your Properties Inspector with N. Go to the Animate tab. And you can animate either points or shape. For this tutorial, we'll be animating points. To insert keyframes, we need to simply click on Insert. So select the entire mesh and insert a keyframe on frame 1. Move ahead to frame 40. Select parts of the lattice and move, scale, or rotate them. Make sure that all of the affected points are selected and insert a keyframe. Move ahead to frame 80. Select parts of the lattice and move, scale, or rotate them. Make sure all of the affected points of the lattice are selected and insert a keyframe. Then move ahead to frame 120 and select parts of the lattice and move, scale, or rotate them. Make sure all the affected points of the lattice are selected and insert a keyframe. Then change your end frame to 120 and play the animation. If you have a request for a tutorial or a question about Blender, feel free to leave a comment. If you're interested in learning more about 3D art and animation, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.